A very good morning to all of you. As Deacon Kevin mentioned, my name is Father Mike Cease. I'm a priest of the Voluntas Dei Secular Institute, and I have been working at the Diocesan Mission of Green Bay for almost 24 years in the Dominican Republic. And I'm here this weekend at your parish to share with you a little bit about the work that the Diocese of Green Bay has been doing since 1963. And I know, first of all of you have heard of the Dominican Republic. I'm sure a lot of times because of its famous beaches. A lot of people tell me they've been to Punta Cana. I've never been there. And also for all our famous baseball players. And I'm sure you all know that the Dominican Republic is an island. It shares the island of Hispaniola. It occupies the eastern two-thirds of the island, and the country of Haiti occupies the western third. And so since 1963, the Diocese of Green Bay has sponsored a mission in the Dominican Republic. A lot of people aren't even aware of that. And Deacon Kevin was with us last summer for 2 weeks at the mission. And so I told the folks at the 4 o'clock Mass, he can vouch for what I'm saying. Isn't that right, Deacon Kevin? And also your pastor, Father Michael, was down there at the mission also when he was at St. Raphael in Oshkosh. He came down with a group that goes down every year from St. Raphael as a part of a medical mission team. So both your pastor, your priest, and your deacon both have been to the Dominican Republic and have been to the diocesan mission. And so a lot of times people will say to me, well, what do you do? And a Catholic Church is the same no matter where you go. But the situation presents different things. And so as you can imagine, we're in the Dominican Republic right on the border of Haiti. We're located in the province of Elias Piña, which is the poorest province in the Dominican Republic. And I always say our work is divided into two aspects. There's the spiritual side of the work that we do, and there's also the human or the social part of the work that we do because of the poverty in our area. And so right now, I'm the pastor of 3 parishes. The first parish is in the city of Comendador. That's a city of around 25,000 people. That parish is St. Teresa of Avila. The second parish, which is closest to us, is called St. Isidore the Farmer. That's in a smaller community of around 4,000 or 5,000 people. And then now I got a new parish since last July. That's Our Lady of Fatima in the community of Hondo Valle, and that's a city of around 10,000. So I have those 3 main parishes, and now with the new parish I have over 100 communities that are part of those 3 parishes. So I have the 3 main parishes, and then I have another 100 communities. And so other than the main road and a couple other roads, those are the only paved roads. And so all the other roads are dirt roads, and Deacon Kevin can vouch for that. Isn't that right, Deacon Kevin? So all the rest of the roads are all dirt roads. So I get around in a 4-wheel drive pickup truck. That's how I get to all the different places. And so generally speaking, I have between 6 and 8 masses every weekend. So there's 6 and 8 masses every weekend. I usually have masses at the main parishes, and then I go out to the rural communities and have mass. Some of the communities who are far away, I only might get to there maybe twice a year. And so we have chapels, and then they have the Blessed Sacrament where they can do a word service with Holy Communion. And so we have a lot of lay people who are trained in that area, and a lot of catechists. So there's a lot of work. There's a lot of people. There are a few priests in that diocese. We have over 500,000 people, and there are 28 priests. 28 priests. About half of them now are native diocesan priests of that area. So that's a good thing too. We have some vocations in that area. And so as I mentioned, because there's so many people, so few priests, we tend to do things in larger numbers. For example, I was telling the folks last night at the 4 o'clock Mass, one time at Mass, at one Mass, I had 125 baptisms. 125 baptisms. And I didn't call the volunteer fire department to come and help me. I was baptized each and every one, 125 times. And then one other time at a Mass some years back, at one wedding, I had 27 weddings. 27 weddings, all at the same Mass. And I always tell the joke I says, can you imagine that? 27 brides and 54 mother-in-laws all under the same roof. And so things are just a little bit different, obviously, because of the fact that there are so many people and so few priests. But that just gives you kind of an idea. Also, some years ago, we started a Catholic school. We have a Catholic grade school. We now have over, it's been 12 years already, has over 600 students. And then we started a high school. It's a vocational high school. So they, besides getting a high school degree, they also get a vocational degree. And so we had our 6th graduating class a week ago Saturday. And we had 115 students graduate from our high school. Right now we are offering 3 careers. We're offering logistics, administration, and practical nursing. And this fall we're starting a new career in agriculture, agronomy. And right now we're in the process of building 8 classrooms. And so that's part of what I'm doing here this weekend. I'm doing some fundraising. We're in the process of building 8 classrooms. I received a donation last year, and so we started with it, and we have to finish it now. And so we're probably looking around maybe $80,000 to finish that project. And so that just gives you a little bit of an idea of some of the work that we're doing as a diocese, because the diocese helps us with all that. And that's just part of the spiritual side. And then as you can imagine, we're in a very poor area. And so besides the spiritual work that we do, which is really the most important, we do a lot of social or human development types of work because of the poverty. For example, water. Here we take water for granted. You go to your faucet, you got hot water, you got cold water, no problem. But for many people in developing countries, they don't have running water. So we, through the years, have built over 7 aqueducts. Some are gravity-fed, some are pump-fed. And so that makes a big difference in people's lives. And the people have to work on the project. We have local technicians at our Catholic charities that show the people how to dig their trenches, how to put the piping in and all that. But the community has to really do the work. And so we've done projects in terms of water. We've also done projects in terms of building homes. We've done over 150 prefabricated homes. A lot of people live in substandard housing, very, very substandard housing. So we've done over 150 homes. And if we don't do homes, we also can help people repair their homes. For example, this last 2 years, we've helped people with over 1,000 sheets of tin to replace their roofs. Also, we help people with cement, and they have to do all the work. We don't have people that do the work for them. We supply the stuff, and then they have to do the work. So we don't just giving out things. And then also we have a big project we just finished up in the last couple of years, a project for latrines, outhouses. So we've built now over 600 outhouses on the border of Haiti. There's a lot of problems with sanitation. And a few years back, we had a cholera outbreak, which was a very severe situation. And so we've done, and we're still doing, projects for outhouses, latrines, pit latrines. And so there's been all kinds of things that we do, and it's always a busy day there. Every day is different, as you can imagine, with all kinds of activities right on the border of Haiti. And like I said, since 1963, the Diocese of Green Bay has sponsored that mission. And I myself am now in my 24th year as the pastor in those parishes in the Dominican Republic. So once a year, I come back here to the diocese. I'm originally from Antigua. I come back here to the diocese and to ask for people's help. So we get our funding from a variety of sources. One of the sources where we get our funding is from what I'm doing here today, called the Missionary Cooperative Plan. In your pew, there are envelopes. Deacon Kevin mentioned that there'll be a second collection. If you're not ready for the second collection today, you can take the envelope home with you and bring it back next weekend and just put it in the collection. Also, besides the Missionary Cooperative Plan, we also get funding from the Bishop's Appeal. A lot of people aren't aware of that, but when you contribute to the Bishop's Appeal, a portion of the Bishop's Appeal also goes to help us in the Dominican Republic. Also, we get funding from the Catholic Foundation for the Diocese of Green Bay. And then we get funding from different individuals and parishes here back in the diocese. So we get a funding from a variety of different sources. And so for me, it's always a pleasure to come back home to the area and tell people about the good work that the Diocese of Green Bay has been doing since 1963. So that's quite a few years already that the diocese has sponsored that mission. And so a lot of times people say, well, how can they send a priest to the Dominican Republic? Well, like I mentioned, there's a lot more need for priests there than there are here. I know there's a need here, but there's even fewer priests in the Dominican Republic. And so that's how the diocese also sponsors a priest and a mission in the Dominican Republic. And so I'm real grateful for the Diocese of Green Bay for the generosity in helping us. And I'm also grateful for all the people back here in Northeast Wisconsin that are helping us in the diocesan mission in the Dominican Republic. And so after Mass, if anyone has any questions, I'll be in the gathering space if anyone has any questions about the Dominican Republic or about the mission. And so that just gives you a very brief example of what the diocese has been doing since 1963. And so it's really putting in practice today's gospel, being a good Samaritan. As in a diocese, we're being good Samaritans, trying to help those in need. And that's really what today's gospel is all about, recognizing the need in our neighbor. That need might be a physical need, might be a spiritual need, might be an emotional need, but we need to recognize the presence of Christ in our neighbor. And so since 1963, in many respects, the diocese have been helping, being the Good Samaritan, helping at the mission, at the diocesan mission in the Dominican Republic. Also, I always tell people, I always warn people when I'm in the area, I always say, now don't go to Mass next weekend at the other parish where I'll be. So next weekend, don't go to Mass in Mackville or Freedom. Because if you go to Mass next weekend in Mackville or Freedom, you'll see my smiley face, and so in the same talk. So just so you know that, so don't go there next weekend. And also another little story I forgot to tell last night, because I don't know why, but I forgot to tell it. But like I said, I'm from Antigo, and that's where I grew up, and family's up there. And one year I was at I don't know where I was, here in the diocese someplace, and they introduced me, and at the Mass, and they said, this is Father Mike Cease, he's from the Dominican Republic, this and that and the other thing. And I said, well, I'm not really from there. I'm kind of from there, but I'm really from Antigo. I said, that's where I'm from. And went on to give my talk. And then some guy came up to me after Mass, and he said, shook my hand with a great deal of enthusiasm and a big smile, and he said, Father, I just want to tell you something. I said, what's that? He says, for a foreigner, your English ain't so bad. So I don't know if he thought Antigo was foreign territory or what, but I said, well, thank you, have a good day. And so, but I'm really from the area, so it's good to be here. And also, I forgot to mention that you have a very pretty church. It's a real pretty church. And also, I'm really impressed. I mentioned it to Deacon Kevin. A lot of times when I'm home in the summertime, you have a lot of people here. That's really impressive. I must say that. A lot of times in the summertime, churches are kind of empty, and so this is 3/4 full. So that's pretty darn good, and I think that's a good statement to your parish. And so, many blessings, and thank you for listening to me this morning, or maybe I should say it in Spanish. Muchas gracias, and have a good day.